Yeah, hi there. These comments, I'll just use the first letter of your name for privacy purposes, S. And you completed, it looks like, my independent speaking practice test number 1. So I will use the independent speaking rubrics that the TOEFL uses to grade this particular speaking task. And let's take a look at the question. So this is a two-part question. This is a pretty difficult question. It says, describe a place you visited as a child, and then what is your favorite memory while visiting this place? So there's two parts to the question. And let's take a look at what you said.
I always remember my village. There was a small mountain. I visit this mountain regularly with my grandfather, and I remember this place because a funny story happened at that time when we're...
Okay, now one thing about the mountain, so if you describe the place or describe the mountain, you have to take maybe 10 or 15 seconds, maybe even more, and give an adequate description of what it looked like. Was this a tall mountain? Did it have glaciers on top? Was it a smaller mountain? Was it more rocky and just dirt on top? Was it covered by trees? Was it more of a desert mountain? You know, something along those lines. So you need to have quite a bit of description of the place you visited, because that's kind of part of the question.
When we were there, my brother and my sister, there were playing.
I would say my brother and my sister were playing. You don't have to say my brother and my sister, they were playing. There's no need to really repeat that subject.
Sister, there were playing. There, my brother and my sister, there were playing, and they burned some grass. Then they, after that, it's become big fire in the mountain.
I'm going to say, you said become, it became.
After that, it's become big.
You want to say it became because you're talking about something in the past, not the present.
Big fire in the mountain, and many people come because I never forget this.
Now you want to say a big fire on the mountain, probably not in the mountain. I would use on, not in that case.
A place. That's why I remember this particular place.
Wow, that's exciting. Your brother and sister started a fire on a mountain. Yeah, I think I would definitely remember that too. All right, let's talk about your score now. So I'm going to evaluate your speech in 3 specific areas. One is, it's called topic development, which looks at how well you're organizing your ideas and the kinds of details you use to help explain those ideas. So in this case, you're not using a lot of details to help illustrate your ideas, and I think this is also connected to your language use. I feel like you're a little bit limited in your vocabulary and your grammar. So you're using mostly basic vocabulary and grammar without using the more advanced vocabulary and grammar, which means you can combine sentences more perhaps. You could use things like adjective clauses or noun clauses or adverb clauses, things of that nature, but you're not really doing that much. So I think you do have some weaknesses with your vocabulary and also your grammar. Delivery, not bad. I think I can tell you've been speaking English for quite a while, so you have a fairly clear accent, but you do have some problems with pacing. You sometimes have pauses and hesitations in your speech. So your score. Based on your response, I'm going to put you at about 2.0 out of 5. Out of 4, actually, sorry. And that's going to give you about 15 points out of 30 on this particular independent speaking practice test. Now, for the purposes of our class, a 2.0, that's going to put you right around 70% on our test. This will be the grade I'll enter an in grade. So what do? I do have some lessons I think that would be useful for you. I think vocabulary lesson 3, I think is definitely, it's basically a book with 20 chapters that I put together to help you with some basic vocabulary development. I would strongly recommend that you get some time, set some time aside, I think this quarter, maybe a few hours a week, and complete that vocabulary lesson. That's TOEFL vocabulary lesson number 3. Now, to help you address your grammar issues, I would say take a look at my grammar lesson number 1, grammar lesson number 2, and then also grammar lesson number 7. I think that would also be beneficial for you at this stage of your development. But anyway, thank you for completing the practice test. And now what you want to do is think about what you did with this speaking practice test. Remember, you're going to do 3 more. So now ask yourself, how can I better support my ideas with details? How can I use a little bit more advanced grammar and vocabulary in my speech? Think of some things you can do with that second practice test that you didn't do here, and that's going to help you score higher on that second one. All right? Anyway, have a great day.